So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the number 2 player for wins when it comes to the Battle Royale. And Shaded's lifetime win ratio is over 51%. But consistently recently, he usually wins about 60 to 70% of his matches, which is incredibly high rate. We're going to take a look at what he does differently than a lot of players that allows him to excel and win so many matches. In one of his recent streams, they ended up winning 29 matches while only losing 9. And out of his most recent 7 days, you can see he has above a 5 KD and averages right around 7.5 kills per match. So what we're going to do is talk about the overall strats that allow him and the people he plays with to generally win at a very high rate. Shaded's a pretty cool dude. I know he plays with subs. He carries a lot of subs to their first win. But the thing that allows him to win at an incredibly high rate is the strategy that they employ allows them to position themselves to almost always have the advantage. So if you like this type of gameplay where I'm going to break down everything, I've done several of these on the channel for about 20 different players. If you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button. Go on today's videos, 2,500 likes. And if you're brand new, want to find your way back for more Call of Duty content, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Like I said, he's a chill dude, easy to conversate with in the chat. He's reading the chat a bunch right now as I'm talking from the gameplay. And the cool part is that you can go ahead and engage with him if you want. I'm going to leave a link down to his channel. It's just twitch.tv/ShadedStep, which I'm going to leave that link down in the description. So there's multiple steps to ensuring that you win at an incredibly high rate. One, you got to be decent gun skill wise, obviously, because you're going to get into gunfights. Especially with their strategy, they usually try to land and grab at least 2, sometimes if it's possible 3 helicopters, whatever the safest helicopters are. And by safest, I mean usually they're a little bit of a stretch, maybe a little bit less desirable. Right now, everyone would go more toward the zone, so they can grab a helicopter a little bit further outside the zone. And you want the helicopter for a couple different reasons. One, it makes it so that you do not have to worry about the gas in the first zone, which can be typically tricky to outrun if you end up on the ground. So that's out of the way, so you save that portion. It also allows you to get to any part of the map you want with relative ease, so that you can grab contracts, loot up, or whatever. And once you have the vehicle, that allows you for the fast movement. That's step 1. Step 2 is all about getting cash and looting to set yourself up. And you're going to do this a few different ways. Land somewhere, loot it up. I know port's a great spot if you just want to loot. There's a bunch of boxes, prison, you know, wherever. You choose this particular location where you can comfortably loot. And the overall goal is to get enough money for a loadout. Everyone on the team gets self-res. Everyone gets an armor box or a munition box. Everyone gets a streak, and everyone, you know, so there's stacks, self-revive, loadout, everything. So you have everything you need. And then once the second loadout drops, then you go and get your restock class, because you don't really care about being off the minimap. They do not care about that. And there's some steps I'm going to explain as you go through it. The other part of it is the contracts that are ideal to choose right now are recons or scavengers, because bounties are out of the game. Generally, they're going to do recons just because they're faster. You use a vehicle, you jump on it, 2 people jump on it, it's a 30-second thing. Whereas the scavs, you got to go next, and watch them spawn, versus this is much quicker. And it also provides intel for later zones, so you know where exactly the zone's going to rotate. You can position yourself early. You can gatekeep teams. That's one part of it, right? The other part is as you do multiple contracts, they actually stack up on top of each other, meaning that the multiple of money that you get from it is going to be significantly higher. So after you do about 4 of these, then maybe you grab a most wanted, maybe you do a scav. Traditionally, maybe you go for a bounty. You get an easy kill there. Ooh, that guy's mad. So you do those steps in order so that you get the most consistent results, and you always end up with the loadout. Obviously, he's a decent player. He's able to take those guys out, comes in with the heli, whatever. He has a lot of practice with the heli, because when you use it regularly, you got a lot of practice with it. You know how to maneuver with it. There's another guy, it looked like there, but they're going to go ahead and grab the next recon and then position, grab it really quick. And you can see that the money's stacking up. And there's a couple different reasons. Obviously, like I said, all the other important part with the loadout, the self-revive, the munitions, the streaks, that's all important. But by also multiplying the numbers there, anytime late game you have enough money to literally just go buy your teammate back. If they need another loadout, you just buy them another loadout. The red cards, that's part of it too, because sometimes you get a red access card but it's not really practical for you to go to one of the bunkers. With this strategy with the helicopter, you're always going to be able to go to one of the 3 or 4 bunkers that you already kind of have, where you can open it up, grab its stuff in there, whether it's a Juggernaut, an advanced UAV, Foresight, or specialist bonus, right? Or the 30 grand that's in there on top of weapons or whatever. Self-revives now too. But you do all these things to safeguard yourself. Right now, they still haven't gotten their loadout. They have okay weapons. Obviously, they're dealing with teams. And the other part is you have selfless communication. I know I've played with different types of people. There's teams that are willing to 100% win, or they're just going to 100% chase the kill. Their thought process is trying to keep as many people alive, accomplish certain objectives, you know. So right now, this is kind of a tricky. Things don't always go as planned. People think you just go, oh, do a recon and camp. You have to, some of these things are contested. You have to work hard for them. If it was as easy as just doing recons and camps, there's plenty of people that would have way more wins, but they don't. So this is kind of like peel the curtain back, talk about a little bit of the different strategies, and you can kind of see how it works out. So they have about 2 minutes, and you can see they have plenty of money. 18,000 he does. He did a seat swap there, try and get a little shots off. Team comes in, they're cleaning up, and they mark stuff. He's getting out of there. He's got to rotate. There's another one.
Where are they, guys?
Up top. Top level of the warehouse next to us.
Yep. Oh, see, there's a red key card, it looked like. Yep, he got the red key card. So this could be a good thing for them as far as money. They still got to do this recon, but they got to worry about this dude. You can't even see the guy on the screen. It's all right. They see the teammate comes, gets revived. Self-revives are huge because it also cuts down on your revive time. Because literally you go in. They might have destroyed the heli. They destroyed the heli. So now this is like a bad scenario, right? They don't have enough helicopters. They don't have enough mode of transportation. And I like wanted to focus on this type of match because people think everything just goes smoothly. If everything went smoothly, they probably win about 90% of the time, right? But sometimes these things happen. They gain experience, and then they're able to go back at it so they can improve. But look at how much money they have. They're sitting on 30,000. Teammate finished the recon while they were just kind of watching, and they have enough money to buy back their teammate, get their self-revives, get all the streaks, get everything they need. And that is the key. He's already sitting on 4 kills, so it's not like he was camping. I know some people want like 10 kills at this point, but I would say that the average and below average player, which is like 90% of the player base and probably 90% of you that are watching, you probably don't get a ton of kills like all these YouTubers do in their videos. It's just not practical because they play for 10 hours and they get 2 matches where they break 20 kills. And that's not normal. The other times they probably don't even break 10 and they lose about 90% of those matches. Whereas these guys, they're going to win all the time. So the lessons you learn from each of the matches, it works out really well. So you can see on the bottom right there, on the bottom left, they've already started to get their self-revives. They have enough money. They got to get the loadout up here. They already called it in. And then they're going to get the free loadout in about 15 seconds. It might spawn directly in front of them on the side here, or it's going to spawn in the graveyard.
I do have a key card, guys. You want to go to this bunker?
I have one too. Oh.
See, so they have 2 red key cards, and they're going to be able to go hit up the bunkers. It's going to be a little bit trickier. Oh, did by the graveyard. So it did spawn in a common spot.
Wait, shit, which bunkers?
They still need a couple people that have more self-revives. Just a matter of timing. They got to double check the loadouts. But you can see where the final zone is. It's a matter of rotating it. And the thing with the Warzone is once you've played it enough, you know that the zones aren't 100% random. What I mean by that is where like the same types of zones tend to appear. So you could play Warzone 20 times and this almost exact circle at the end will probably come up 3 times. And the bottom right will come up 3 times. And the top right, prison, you know, wherever, will come up multiple times. So by playing the game on a regular basis and getting towards the end zone more regularly, you get those late game experience of how people rotate in, where you need to hold. If you failed, then you go back and do it again. And he's on pace to hit, you know, he's going to hit 2,000 wins. He'll probably be the second player ever to hit 2,000 wins besides Iron, which is sitting over at 2,100 wins, and like 400 wins ahead of him and Scopes. Him and Scopes, Scopes is #1 console player that I covered in the past as far as wins, and he, I think, is only about 60 wins behind him, so it's getting pretty close there. So now it looks like they are rotating to one of the bunkers because of the things that I talked about earlier with the money side of it, the ability to just get stocked up on streaks, munitions boxes. It just saves a ton of money there. The other part that you'll tend to see with the winning at a high rate is generally the team sticks together. A lot of times I've played with different people that want to go ahead and try and chase some kills. You end up in 2v2 split, a 3v1 split. People just go their own way, and as from a practicality sense, unless you're just a god at the game or you're running up against complete bots, that's not something you're going to be able to do it with consistency. It just doesn't happen. No matter how good you are, if you come up against an average to above average team, more than likely they're gonna beat you, unless it's just they were low plates, they didn't have weapons, you have a loadout, you have better positioning. I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into it, but with consistency, it's just not practical.
What the heck? I just got teleported.
That was weird. It kind of pushed him.
No.
Oh, wow. Who the heck was watching that?
They're on the top. They're on the top.
That was weird.
There's definitely teams up.
And then the other part with the munitions allows if you need extra C4, stun, stock, gas, pretty much anything you need, you'll be able to restock that in addition to the ammo. Especially with this type of play style, a lot of times what they will do is they'll set up their loadout with a rifle or an SMG with a sniper rifle. And the reason you typically do that combo is because you're already positioned in a good spot, you're already looking at people at range, and then basically you gatekeep them, or you can just control where people are able to rotate to. So they come over here. Like I said, it doesn't work out perfect, but they're all competent players. They're going to figure out how to get out of the situation.
Behind them,
Called Precision worked out really well. They're kind of in a bad spot, but since they have money, they're in a perfectly, they're gonna work, things are gonna work out.
Yep.
Because a lot of times the money is why you lose matches. Surprisingly, just because you're short on money, you don't have enough for a UAV, you don't have enough for any other streaks, you don't have enough for plates, you don't have enough for loadout. Like money, you can't buy back your teammates. Like money just ends up being an issue. So getting so much of a surplus, and then even if somebody dies, you just do a quick little contract, you bring them back, you're good to go.
Fish, you have enough money to get him back.
There he is. The guy's right on top of him, I think.
Wait, I'm getting pushed again.
Is he Gary or is he on the roof?
He's on the roof. He's down now. I got him.
Right here? What's happening? I'm just gonna go up.
He's one shot up there.
Oh my.
So the good thing is going to get the high ground, and then they'll be good. Looks like most of the other team dropped down, so he's going to work up. See how they just brought back the teammate? No issues.
Down the guy up there. I down one up there.
Mark it.
And that cubby hole to the left. Cubby hole to the left.
What?
It's
like on the hard
Come through. Called him. Oh, that guy was mad.
Down.
Easy, and then he's up top here.
I might be dead. There's someone up here.
Is he going to push him? He's trying to spot him. Is the guy... There he is. Oh, nasty. This is after the R700 nerf on the sniper. So it's just like a car now. Some ways better, some ways worse, but generally it's like a car. I still prefer the HDR, but there's a little bit extra mobility compared to the HDR.
Lucy, you can get yourself here.
See? So, and that's a lot of times the communication where there's a selfless aspect. Some people just buy plates, some will just buy a UAV instead of getting self for their teammate. There's a lot of value in having everyone on your team have self-revive, because sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. But it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. It's one of those scenarios. So he's perfectly stacked with everything that I said they needed at the begining. Unfortunately, the helicopter got destroyed, but they had enough money for everyone to have UAVs, or not UAVs, a streak, their boxes, their loadouts, as well as you can see they have a gas mask and full plates with a satchel, self-revive. They're stacked, and they have the zone. So there's a lot that goes into it. And even though he only has 6 kills so far, he's going to rack up quite a bit more kills. But that's not even the important part. The key is that everyone works as a team. So a lot of times it's not even about the kills or the damage. It's just about winning. Regardless if you get 20 kills, which I know he's gotten over 20 kills, or if you get 2 or 3, the whole goal of a battle royale is to win. If you're playing it just 100% for kills,
Do you have to go all the way
then
around?
basically you're just a bounty hunter, right? Like your goal isn't to win, and that's okay. There's going to be several different play styles, and there's not one that's right. You got to play with works within your skill set too. I think one of the cool things about this is that it requires a little bit more patience and positioning knowledge, and less about reaction time. You still got to win all his gunfights. Like he had to snipe that dude. He had to hit the guy when he jumped up top. He had to beam the other. Like, you know, they have to do those things, but it gets significantly easier when you set yourself and your entire team up for success. So here's where the sniper play comes into it. A lot of times you can get picks, downs at range, where if somebody doesn't have a sniper in that group, literally they can't challenge you from that range. Obviously, there's other distances where maybe the rifle could be very viable if it's low recoil. Sometimes as a streamer, I think these things, like some people are like, oh, that's kind of boring chilling. Nope, he gets his water break. He gets to read some chat, get to interact, and then decide how they want to position. Because right now, they're in a smart position. They're already ready to win the match, basically. You know what I mean? And it's one thing just to camp and never move, but they're actively covering the area where they're at so that they know who's coming from each angle. And they've played, like I said, they've played this zone before, so that they're not necessarily in the zone, but they already know it's rotating.
I am being a very sneaky man.
Damn, he actually got a down out of that.
Can y'all finish him? Right here, Lucy.
Contact. Yeah, I got a kilo. That's not happening.
There goes. So one of the strategies with this is you can clear an area where you're planning to rotate to, and then that allows you to have a safe rotation to where you want. So instead of just thinking 100% in the moment, which typically when you're only chasing kills, you're only thinking in the moment, you're like, oh damn, the zone. Or, you know, like, oh no, what? You know, they're over there. Oh, the guy's in the... You don't have to really worry about that because you're ahead, and then basically you're actively searching. You're not just camping in a room or anything like that.
Find us.
What? Waiting. Down.
And they give call outs for everything because as a good teammate, that's what you should do, right? Plating, so that they know that you're not covering if you're on the map. Hey, can I get a res? I'm downed. I got the guy. I downed one. Can you finish him? Like, they're pretty short, succinct. Hey, this, you can see there's not much talking going on now. But as soon as they have intel, they're going to relay the intel. That's why you get a precision, because you snipe, you get the down, and no matter how good those players are, typically that's going to get the finished off, and then they're done. Gulag's closed. They have to go to a buy. They're low man, and you still have all 4 players. The goal is to have all 4 players. So that guy could have downed one of them. When he downed them, could have called the precision much sooner, but they were able to self-revive. He tapped them, got out of there, and then the self-revive can be used again.
It's just him.
That's really weird.
You get a knock on one of those guys on the right. I have an airstrike.
I know there's going to be some toxic comments, but at the end of the day, this guy has more wins than you and all of your friends combined. So there's 6 teams. Damn, teams are dying quick right there. So 6 teams still, but a lot are dying off the actual players. And the other part too is sometimes they won't plate up right away, because what will end up happening is if you get downed, you can get rezzed. So you can see right now he's not plating because he doesn't want to waste the plates. They're going to burn through enough ammo. You can see he only has 8 bullets left in reserve, plus the 5 in the mag, or whatever you want to call it. And then they're going to throw down the ammo box and they'll be good to go. That guy's not selfing. He's trying to move. He's done.
Down.
Good stuff.
4 teams left, 10 players.
The guy on the bridge is getting shot from behind him. There's 2 of them apparently.
Okay.
Damn, he downed that one too.
I'm gonna drop munitions.
On top of police. I see one of the just peek.
The added part of that too is sometimes people say they'll run into ammo situations. By having the munitions box, you can just pray and spray, continue spamming. Obviously, he hit a lot of good shots there, especially with that the sniper. Now that it's fixed, it's not like a hit scan. You have to actually be able to adjust your aim. You can just keep spraying and praying. You're never gonna run out of ammo if everyone on your team has munitions and everyone has what they need.
Down the guy.
Down the guy here.
I potatoes.
Yeah, we gotta watch the guy above us.
3 teams, 5 players. So no matter what, they already have the actual numbers in their advantage. 2 teams,
So there's a team in
4
Kontrol
players.
above us?
So 1v3v4 or a 2v2v4.
Guy in the tunnel still.
You got a durable gas mask? What
Yeah,
the heck?
specialists too. Yeah, these guys did the thing or whatever.
So see how they're kind of split far enough?
Above us. Nice.
They communicated that was a solo, and now it's a 4v3.
Okay.
And see, he still hasn't played it. This entire time, he still hasn't played it.
My time.
Do it up.
This guy's got a minigun.
He's actually hitting some clean shots here.
Are they in here?
Oh yeah.
They're kind of trapped. They call it the precision.
They just airstrike something.
He's out of there.
Check me.
And they already know where the last team is, so this is pretty easy. I think one of his teammates is just going to mess around with the war machine. Because it's pretty safe right here. That guy's dead pretty much. He broke the other one.
Down.
And there you go. That's win 1627. So that's the breakdown. Make sure you go ahead and check out Shaded over on Twitch. Just go ahead and click the link near the top of the description. Did enjoy the video, hit the like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. Do appreciate all the support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching. As always, have a great day.